Welcome to the Areas of Mitigation Interest, or AOMI, GIS tutorial. This presentation provides details about what the Areas of Mitigation Interest dataset is and how it can be used to make informed decisions in community resilience. Most communities are familiar with using flood insurance rate maps, or flood maps, to guide sound floodplain management decisions. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, also created flood risk products to be used alongside regulatory products like FIRMs. Flood risk products are non-regulatory, ready-made sources of additional information that go beyond the basic flood hazard information on the FIRM and provide more extensive and more user-friendly information. Flood risk products can help communities make better and more effective mitigation decisions. Flood risk products include the Flood Risk Database, which stores the changes since last FIRM, water surface elevation grids, flood depth grids. It may also store the percent annual chance grid, percent 30-year chance grid, flood risk assessment, and areas of mitigation interest. A flood risk map and a flood risk report will often accompany the database. AOMIs identify physical factors that may be affecting flood risk that would benefit from raised local awareness. These factors raise awareness of stakeholders within the watershed that may be contributing to flood risk and can provide input to local mitigation plans. These physical factors may include dams, levees, coastal structures, stream flow constriction, hotspots for areas with past flood insurance claims, key emergency routes that may be flooded, or at-risk critical facilities. The following tutorial outlines steps in ArcMap to perform simple spatial analysis using the AOMI dataset. Each spatial layer in the flood risk database is described in detail by accessing FEMA's Flood Risk Database technical references. This tutorial utilizes the following layers from the Flood Risk Database: the SAOMI-AR, showing the areas of mitigation interest, and the SFRAC-AR, showing the flood risk assessment areas by census block. Here is a snapshot of what each attribute in the SAOMI-AR layer represents. Here is a snapshot of what each attribute in the SFRAC-AR layer represents. Open ArcMap and use the Add Data button dropdown to add a simple base map layer to give the areas of mitigation interest some spatial context. Use the Add Data function again and navigate to the Flood Risk Database. Within the FRD spatial layers, select the SAOMI-AR and click Add. The FIRM database is one of the regulatory products. It can be downloaded from the FEMA Map Service Center. Once downloaded, open the FIRM data in the Add Data function to add the SFlood has AR, the SGen struct, and the SProfile baseline datasets. In the layers list, right-click the SFlood has AR layer and select Properties to change the symbology to match FIRM specifications. Specific FIRM symbology can be found in the FEMA FIRM Panel Technical Reference. Right-click the SAOMI-AR and select Open Attribute Table. Select a specific entry row and right-click. Select Zoom to, and your map will update. Areas are described in the AOMI type and AOMI info fields. You can also add the flood risk assessment data to aid in resilience decisions by adding the SFRAC-AR layer from the Flood Risk Database, FRD spatial layers. Right-click the layer and select Properties. In the Symbology tab, the user can play around with different symbology and overlay on different base maps. Add local data like structures to add to the visual analysis. These areas can guide the prioritization of mitigation projects. For example, this area with the white and black dashed line was identified as a potential area of mitigation. Elevating the bank for protection could prevent the 1% annual chance flood from crossing the road and protect those structures that are currently inundated. As previously mentioned, flood risk products were developed to be used alongside regulatory products like firms to help guide those tough conversations. Many of the flood risk products help stakeholders visualize their flood risks in a way that lines on the firm cannot, making flood risk products a powerful communication tool. The following provides more resources to learn more about flood risk products. Please use these web pages for printable flood risk product fact sheets, Colorado's resiliency plan throughout the state, FEMA specific resources, other uses for a base flood elevation, and what exactly is meant by the term 100-year flood. A geographic information system known as GIS is a powerful tool for visualization and data analysis. If you're interested in trying GIS, check out these resources. Once you have an ArcGIS platform, contact your community for a copy of the flood risk database and a flood risk product map package. For additional information, please contact representatives from the Colorado Water Conservation Board.